Hello, this is Alison Adenis from Sick of IBS with new insights to help you live your IBS better or even get rid of it. So, for most of my life, I spent Christmas and the New Year in bed, curled up in a ball, either that or in the toilet, either being sick or with intense stomach pains or the rest. So, it hasn't been particularly great, apart from the fact that about 7 years ago, I found a way out of IBS. And ever since then, Christmas is very different. When people come round with the goodies tray, I can have some. I don't have to worry about any consequences or, how I'm going to live it. When someone comes round with a drinks tray, if I fancy a drink, I can have a drink and I know that everything will be fine and I'll digest it all. This didn't used to be the case at all. So if that's where you are, in the case where you're not digesting any yummy food or drinks of any kind, there is a way out. Now, firstly, the way out. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I found a cure for IBS. And if you go to the end of their video, you realize they're on some drastic diet where they can have none of certain foods or all of only some foods. And it's all very limited. Either that, or they're taking meds, or they're taking some other supplement that they have to take for the rest of their life to not have IBS. Now, for me, this is not freedom. Freedom is not having to take anything or do anything special, but just not have to have IBS symptoms anymore. And that's where I am. I've now had 7 Christmases and New Years with no symptoms whatsoever. And to be honest, that's what I'd like for everybody else. Now, how do you do this? It sounds simple, but it takes time. It's not something you can have a go at this weekend and hope it will work. In my coaching practice, clients sign up for 6 months and they have 6 months of focus and investing time and money solely on this goal. And they're the ones that, if you're really ready, that get through and break through IBS. So that's to know first. So where can you start today? Well, the very first part of releasing your IBS is really finding out what triggers you. Whether you realize it every day or as often as you have IBS symptoms, you trip over an invisible tripwire. You can't see it, you don't know where it is. You may have a vague idea because you've done it a lot, but you're just not quite sure what it is, that thing that keeps tripping you up. And that's what you need to find. Now, that's the most difficult thing because often these tripwires have been there for all or most of our lives and we just can't see them. And that's where someone like me as an IBS coach comes in to help because from the outside, they're very visible to me. Plus, I have a lot of experience with IBS tripwires, shall we say. So that's really what you're going to need to start. So over this period, see if you can work out or notice what set you off. Now, a lot of people think of food. Food is, gets the blame for everything. And I'd like to take your focus off food completely and look more at relationships, people in your life that trigger you, situations that trigger you. You may also find things like smells, sounds, intensity. You may find that you're someone who's very sensitive to overwhelm around you. So it could be the people, it could be what they're saying, but it could also be the context of being on in a social situation, for example. Some triggers are very unique to specific people. If you've had an experience with something very specific in your life, you may have had an accident, some trauma. Sometimes it's very difficult to know exactly what's going on, but that's where you need to look. So keep your eyes open and see what you can notice, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.